This is the story of a girl tricked into a fake marriage and left destitute with her newborn baby. Jamila is a victim of vacation marriage, a type of sex tourism that targets thousands of teenage girls in Kenya each year. Targeted by predatory men, abandoned by family and community.
She is there to suffer alone.
We've come to meet the sisterhood fighting to help women like her and find out what happened to Jamila after she dared to tell the world her story. This is Jamila. When I first met her in 2018, she and her daughter were living in a terrible state in a filthy brothel in Eastleigh, a predominantly Somali suburb of Nairobi. The Kenyan capital has become a second home for many Somalis fleeing war and poverty in their own country. But now, many of the Somali women living in Nairobi have become victims of men promising them a better life. Women like Jamila, who was just 15 years old when she was tricked into a sham marriage.
Sideen ninka ku kulanteen oo yaa ku baray?
Ninka gabar saaxiibadeeda wiil saaxiib oo qabo ay baraniga. Oo wiilkan uu ka helnin Mareykanka ka yimaaday. Adiga soo ugu xirgay wax badan oo ku qarash gareeyay, qarash lacag oo uu sabay.
Jamila believed the man she met was genuine. Maha told her he was from America and that they were starting a better life together. She became pregnant, but after just 3 months, Mahad abandoned her, and so did her family. It's called vacation marriage, and it's a problem faced by thousands of young Somali girls in Nairobi. After the civil war started in the early 1990s, millions of Somalis fled the violence. Many of them settled outside of Africa, places like the UK, Europe, North America and Australia, raising families and finding jobs. They might not be rich in their adopted countries, but when these Somali-born men come back to Africa with a Western passport and a few $1,000s, they are seen as successful. They meet up with local fixers in Kenya who pose as matchmakers, connecting them with Somali girls hoping to meet a genuine husband who can provide a better life. But these men only want a fling.
Markaad noloshaada sideed ku dabartaa?
Qofa u sheegi karo oo dareemi karo dibkiga ama ila qaybsan.
Somali women left in this position face a huge stigma, so I was surprised Jamila wanted to speak so openly about her experience, but she told me she was already at rock bottom and had nothing to lose. And Jamila's story did capture people's attention across the world. Millions of people watched it. Twitter was flooded with the hashtag Justice for Jamila, and a fierce debate started up. But back in Eastleigh, most people still don't want to talk about the issue. The problem of vacation marriage means that Eastleigh's local police station has dozens of women seeking help every day. They say they are victims of this particularly cruel sex tourism. These women need help, and in Eastleigh, that means they come to see the only Somali female police chief in Nairobi.
Next client. Yes, ma'am.
Jawahir Muhammad has made stopping vacation marriage her personal mission.
I am the area chief, and I have your wife here. Your wife Ayan Issa Salah, complaining of disowning of your child. Please, can you avail yourself in my office? Give me time frame 11 o'clock. Thank you. Just wait till we come, okay, and then we will solve your problem. Next customer.
The man that Chief Jawahir was speaking to never showed up at the police station. I wanted to revisit Kenya to find out what happened to Jamila since we shared her shocking story. Was there any hope for her and her daughter? But first, I come to see Jawahir Muhammad in action as she patrolled Eastleigh's streets. When we met her last year, women were queuing at her police station, complaining about male exploitation. Now, she's got a new approach. She patrols the streets, looking out for vulnerable girls. She warns local taxi drivers they must report to her if they see anything suspicious.
Below 18 years old is a child. If you take a child to your taxi and you see somebody else like a man inside, you come and report it. No, immediately report it. Please immediately report it, because if you see a small child who have a school uniform and the time of school is not yet still, and you are driving her to another destination, there is something fishy.
She's a local legend, trusted by women and feared by men. They follow her like a rock star around the streets as she lays down the law. Her new approach is no nonsense, and the message is clear. So Jawahir has made changes, but I wondered what had happened to Jamila since we last saw her. Thankfully, the news was good. Jamila no longer lives in the brothel. In fact, her life has been changed completely thanks to the kindness of strangers. Halfway across the world in Melbourne, Australia, someone else from the global Somali community came into Jamila's life. But this time, it was a woman, another young mother.
High five, Shamsa. Koda.
Ferdosa saw Jamila's desperate story and decided she had to do something. So she set up a GoFundMe page which raised 15,000 Australian dollars.
والله قروحة نقطة I can't believe ما شاء الله different أو إكتها يعني مرة رأيك هذا بيسي
الحمد لله.
Despite all the warnings and fear of sharing her story, for Jamila the risk was well worth taking. She's opened a small business and is now the proud owner of a fruit and veg shop. It's called Masha Allah, meaning what God wanted.
dad waxay dhaheen Jamiilo way isciis dad badan aan dhaheen hadalkaasayto loo isciis gabadhan yar YouTube kala soo dhaxgeliyay ceeb uma dhig dad alxamdulillah aniga wax kasta ay dhahaan alxamdulillah taagane qof dileen qof gumaysaneen xoog lii sheeganeen alxamdulillah gadaal inta uu noqdo markii Ilaahay la garab galo hore le inta uu socdaa rabaa.
Jamila also has a local ally, Police Chief Muhammad, and now the two of them want to help other Somali women to avoid becoming victims of vacation marriage in Kenya.
Jamila hadda waa ka soo baxday kuwa kale ku jirana waa ka bixinaynaa insha Allah. noloshaada maareys
bedel nolosha bedel
ku raba aan inaan wada shaqeyn soo bino waxa la rabaa gabdhaha adig kula faca anaga waan ritaagarowna oo waxaan joognaa da nasooyin baan ku dhowna
dhalinyartani amal waxa uu sheegayaa inta dibkooda ay qasanin oo wax magaalada ku dhibaa amal inta ku sheegtan adiga gabar Soomaaliyeedna waxa ugu waaninayaa intii lacag lagu siranin dambo sideeda amal sidaan inay sirtay amiin sidoo kale
Jamila still faces challenges. She hasn't fully recovered from her ordeal, but thanks to the watchful eye of Chief Jawahir, the power of social media, and the generosity of strangers, life for her and her daughter is looking much brighter.